Finally tonight, a story of a different kind of hunting sport, falconry. Considered to be the oldest sport known to man, falconers train their birds of prey to hunt game. But as Pamela Watts of Rhode Island PBS reports, it's also a chance to help preserve these noble creatures of the skies.
Working with these birds and hunting with them, you're truly one with nature. You're really interacting with them, and it's hands-on. You know, it's not something that you're observing. You're a part of it.
Jim Gwazinski of Westerly, Rhode Island, has been hunting with birds of prey for 27 years. He is a master falconer, currently training this raptor.
I think that, you know, the bond that you share with these birds is pretty magnificent. They're not pets. The sport itself, I mean, where it brings you are some beautiful places, some beautiful habitat.
Falconry, or hawking, is training raptors to hunt game with you. Witnessing their majestic flight, you understand why it was crowned the sport of kings. Its origins date back centuries to the Middle East, eventually migrating to medieval Europe. It remained popular as a form of hunting until the introduction of guns. Today, falconry is a specialized sport, similar to fly fishing.
There is an art to it, to falconry, and there is a finesse to it.
Originally, what was the object of falconry?
It was, point in fact, to put food on the table, especially prior to the invention of firearms.
What about today?
The same. I'll be the first to admit I've eaten rabbit, I've eaten squirrel.
So you can't be squeamish to participate in this sport.
You can't. And no, you can't. I mean, it is a hunting sport.
It all starts with capturing the bird of prey. Gwazinski says he either has to climb to a nest to get a hatchling or catch an immature bird in a special net.
You understand that there are going to be people who find this objectionable, that you're taking hatchlings from the nest or, you know, trapping a wild bird. How do you answer that?
I say that, sure, you know, I can get that point of view. I think if they understood the amount of time and energy and enthusiasm but care that we have for these birds, about 75 to 80% do not make it through their first year. So as falconers, we're allowed to trap these immature raptors and we leave the actual mature birds alone.
So you see yourselves as conservationists?
I do. It was truly falconers that had a lot to do with the thrust and the push to get peregrine falcons off the endangered species list.
Saved from extinction, they came off the endangered list in 1999. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service gave limited allocations to each region for hunting. In 2022, this creature became the first peregrine falcon permitted to be captured in Rhode Island. Her species is considered the most prized of hunting birds.
Other raptors are also used for hunting, such as this kestrel, the smallest of falcons. Also merlins, goshawks, Cooper's hawks, and especially red-tailed hawks.
Gwazinski says training begins with food-based reward and getting the predator to eat from your hand.
You're trying to establish a trust with the bird. And then what you do is you'll put the bird on a perch, say a few feet away, and you start to incorporate the whistle. And you whistle and get the bird to jump, you know, take a little bit of a flight at you. They land on the glove, you give them the tidbit, you put them back, and then you walk further away. And essentially you're getting the bird to fly to you farther and farther away.
When the raptors are released to nearby trees, falconers go into the woods, literally beating the bushes with sticks to get their quarry to move. And if an animal is spotted, say a rabbit, the hunter gives a distinct call to alert the bird to their target.
What they're starting to do is they make the connection between, you know, something going, something running, and the falconer.
After all this training, most of these birds of prey will be released back to the wild after just a few seasons. Gwazinski says the sport is a commitment year-round.
It goes beyond a hobby. It's a passion. It really is a lifestyle. There's a lot that goes into it. You know, these birds are cared for every day. It's not a passing fancy, and it's certainly something that you just can't, you know, put on a shelf and forget about.
For these falconers, spending a day with their sky hunters defies description.
The world tends to, you know, melt away. So it's truly a great escape. You know, you're so focused on the bird You're no longer focused on yourself or the trials and tribulations, you know, that can inundate us, you know, from day to day.
For PBS News Weekend, I'm Pamela Watts in Jamestown, Rhode Island.